to a new video. I hope you're doing well. And this video is kind of a bit of maybe a random one. I didn't really have any specific plans for this vlog, but I thought it would just be nice to kind of catch up a little bit, show you around. I've been doing some exciting things that I documented. And yeah, kind of more like a hanging out vlog if you want to call it that. So today is actually Friday, and if you watched my vlog from Austria, I mentioned that I still have a few days off work. So I'm actually off work until next Tuesday, which is kind of nice because we are gonna get a heat wave. I think today is the first day of like full-on week where it's gonna be like 27 to even up to 32 degrees Celsius, which is very, very warm. So on Wednesday, I actually went to one of the nearby cities to go to a coffee bar that I really like visiting. And also I wanted to get a new book or books. Because if you've been following along, I have been reading or rereading the ACOTAR series. And I first read them about 2.5 years ago. And then I only read the first until the fourth book. So up until the kind of in-between book, the small one. And then I actually never ended up reading the fifth book, which is A Court of Silver Flames. And that's actually Nesta and Cassian's book. So I finally finished that, I think 2 days ago. And oh my god, I loved it so much. It was such a good book. And yeah, like I mentioned in my Austria vlog, I think Nesta is such an interesting character. And I also listened to the podcast where Sarah J. Maas, she announced the new ACOTAR books 6 and 7. And I really find it interesting to what she said in that podcast, that she wrote Nesta during a time where she was going through it and where she was really struggling and going to therapy, and some of like the raw, angry, frustrated emotions that she felt during that time, she poured into Nesta's character. And I don't know, I feel like I said, it's such an underrated character, and definitely throughout the rest of the series of the ACOTAR books, you don't always get her choices and why she is the way she is, but I really like to read more into her character and know her thoughts behind some of those decisions and just understand her better. I don't think that's a character I can really relate to, because luckily I never felt such like insane, like angry, traumatized emotions. But it is definitely a character that grows on you, and especially like the dynamic between Cassian and Nesta, I just really liked it. And Cassian is also one of my favorite book boyfriends, and yeah, I just really loved it, and I'm very excited to see what the new book 6 and 7 is going to be about. They haven't announced it yet in terms of from whose perspective it's going to be and what the title is. So I'm very like eagerly awaiting for them to announce that. But until then, and that's my little bridge going into what I was up to on Wednesday, I decided to start the Throne of Glass series. It's definitely a big series. I think it's 10 books. And so far I started with Throne of Glass, which was a little bit confusing to start because in the shops and also how it's listed, there's actually a prequel, which is Assassin's Blade. I think there's a little bit of a like ongoing debate on in which order to read them, but I think I read on Instagram that Sarah J. Maas recommends reading Assassin's Blade as third or fourth book. So I started Throne of Glass 2 days ago. I'm still getting into it. I feel like with her books, I have the same with like A Court of Thorns and Roses, that you really need to get used to the characters and like the writing and the world building, because it's like fantasy. And yeah, so far I'm not super into it. Like I'm intrigued, but you can definitely tell that the main character, Sloan, I don't know how to pronounce her name, that the main character is kind of young, and sometimes I feel like her thoughts are a bit childish, but maybe that will change. I know for a lot of people it's their favorite series out of like the 3 series from Sarah J. Maas. So I'm very excited to continue reading that, and if I feel like super crazy, I might even start reading Crescent City, but we'll see how far we come. Anyway, so that was on Wednesday, and then didn't do too much that day, and yesterday I just spent the entire day working on the garden because we're actually gonna have a little birthday celebration on Monday in the garden. My boyfriend, his birthday is Tuesday, and his family is coming over on Monday, which is very nice, but the garden definitely needed some work. We still had like the trunks lying around from when we took out the little trees, and it was very filthy. I didn't really take any shots of that because it was just, we were using the high water pressure machine and making everything very like clean, and yeah, it was basically a very messy process, so I didn't want to risk that my camera would get damaged in that process, but it's looking very clean right now. And this morning I actually had a very, very exciting workshop. I had booked a barista workshop with Danny. I think his handle is Amsterdani. I think that's it. Basically, he gives one-on-one workshops for your like coffee setup. He mainly specializes in the Sage/Profil coffee machines, and it was essentially like a 3-hour workshop, really based on my current machine and like coffee setup, and it was so insightful. I feel like I was at a level where I pretty much have the basics down, but I really wanted to like step up my knowledge and skills and just understand the entire like process of like making the coffee better, and I felt like I would need some help with that. And in those 3 hours he enhanced my like coffee making flow so much. I learned a lot more about like the extraction of the coffee and the grind size and like dialing in your shots, and also like the perfect ratios for like pulling in a good and like almost perfect espresso shot. And then also the milk frothing, because I use oat milk, like how to get that perfect silky consistency so you can pour like a really beautiful latte art. I feel like we definitely got like a really good routine down, or like flow down with that, and I'm just excited to continue with that and practice more at home and see how my like little barista skills are gonna improve. So that was super exciting. I didn't really like vlog a lot of that, and then the rest of the day I'm just gonna like chill. I feel like throughout these like days off I've still been kind of busy, and I feel like I'm at one of those points where I just need to rest more. And I also got my period yesterday, like late afternoon, and it's still very uncomfortable down there. I'm still like in a little bit of pain, so I'm either gonna like hang out on the couch, read a little bit, or catch up on some TV shows. I finished Off Campus, like I mentioned, and that's still occupying my mind a lot. But then they also released a new season of Perfect Match, which is like your typical like trash reality TV show, but I love that. Like, it is my guilty pleasure. So I might continue watching that and then see what the rest of the day brings me. I might ask my best friend if she wants to go on a walk with me, but she hasn't replied yet. I'm not sure if she's working. And other than that, my plan for this video is to just like catch up a little bit, take you along the rest of the weekend. There's some baking cakes again. It's just a season we're in. Like, we have a lot of people celebrating things like birthdays, so I'm the assigned baker for those celebrations, and I think working a bit more in the garden. Might pop into the city tomorrow morning because I still need to get some bits and bobs. And yeah, we'll see what I end up documenting and whatnot. So I hope you enjoy watching this vlog, and let's decide what to do with the rest of the day. Little change of plans. We did actually, and with we, I mean my best friend and I, venture out for a walk. And we also actually got dinner together just because we kind of realized that both of us were gonna have dinner by ourselves. And then we thought, why not grab some dinner? We went to a very nice Italian place, and then we went to the nature area that's very close to it. It's kind of like a nice pod, like a 25-minute walk to this lake. And we walked around it and sat ourselves down. My best friend Cassandra, she bought like a little blanket to sit on and brought some fizzy drinks and some fruits to snack on. And we've been just kind of enjoying the view. The sun is still very, very warm, and the sun is slowly setting over the lake, which is very, very serene and very whimsical looking. And yeah, we're just yapping away, catching up a little bit and enjoying this beautiful warm weather. And yeah, very, very grateful to be sitting here and just chilling and enjoying nature, even though I feel a million insects crawling on me, but we're trying to ignore that and romanticize life. I'm meeting you again from the kitchen in my mighty apron, which can only mean one thing. We're gonna get baking. So I am gonna bake not one, not two, but 3 cakes today, which is a little bit much, but I'm also kind of excited. It's Sunday and we don't really have any other plans today. I spent the morning in the garden reading. The weather has been so good, and I feel like our garden is such a sanctuary for me, especially now because it's like really warm in the sun, but like the part where we have the terrace and also the furniture to sit outside is always in the shade. So it's especially nice when it's like super warm and you can just sit in the shade and it doesn't get too warm. And I just love reading there, and I had my breakfast there, drank my coffee, and it was just very, very good. I'm going to start on the first cake. So I want to do 3 cakes today. I'm going to do one bit of more like a regular cheesecake with some Biscoff through it, like kind of swirled through it, but not homemade Biscoff, just like store-bought. And then I'm gonna make the lemon poppy seed cake again with the cream cheese frosting. And then I'm also gonna do a carrot cake. We're with 10 people, but we also want to have the cake for my boyfriend's actual birthday, which is on Tuesday. And we're gonna go to friends and have a little barbecue. So I feel like we would rather have a little bit too much cake so we can still enjoy it on Tuesday as well. So I just made a little bit of room here. Usually I have my coffee set up here. But I thought, because then I can also look outside, because we have this big window that's overlooking the garden, I thought I would put my new baby here, which hasn't been formally introduced yet on YouTube. I did like a little unboxing on Instagram, but this is my new baby. It's an investment, that's for sure, and I do have to say that my mom very, very kindly contributed to this for most part, to be honest. So I know she's watching my vlog, so thank you, Mom. But yeah, it's the almond milk KitchenAid, and I'm so excited to use her. It's in my mind, it's her, by the way. But yeah, I put her here for now because I know I'm going to be baking a lot, and I feel like this is also such a good spot to have my baking setup, and also to document that I'm not gonna do like a full-on like step-by-step baking process. I feel like that's gonna be a 35-minute video of just me baking. But yeah, I'm very excited to work with her and see how it will improve or like make my baking flow a little bit easier. So let's start on the first cake, which is the Biscoff cheesecake. I'm excited to try all of these, by the way. Hello from the garden. It's a few days later since I last caught you up with what I've been up to, but basically I've just been chilling and relaxing a lot. I feel like with the warm weather, it's so easy to get like very overwhelmed because you want to do stuff. But actually, because we got the garden already, I very much leaned into a very slow pace. Besides celebrating my boyfriend's birthday, we basically have been hanging out in the garden with the cats. They have been loving it as well. I think it's one of my favorite memories of living here. It's just being in the garden with the cats and seeing them thrive and enjoy life so much outside. I think that's just so cute to see. And yeah, basically on Sunday I baked all the cakes which you've seen, and in between just spent a lot of time in the garden as well and just reading. And Monday we celebrated his birthday with his family, which was really nice as well. We just all sat in the garden and had cake and coffee and caught up. And today is Tuesday. Today is his actual birthday, and yeah, we have a very slow pace again. We have a lot of cake leftovers, and basically I've just been in the garden again. I feel like I'm speaking on repeat, but that's basically what I've been doing the last few days. And yeah, I finished Throne of Glass. I think I read that in maybe 4 days. I'm not sure if I love it, but I also remember when I read Acotar for the first time that I also didn't love the first book either. I really got into the story from the second book onwards. So, and a lot of people on my Instagram and my DMs have been telling me that it's one of the best series they've ever read and that it gets better. So I ordered the next books as well, and I'm very excited to read those as well. But I think I was hoping they would arrive today in the early morning, but I think they're gonna arrive later today when we're probably already gone, because we're gonna go to a barbecue with friends to celebrate his birthday, and which is gonna be very nice. But yeah, basically I think I'm just gonna chill in the garden for a bit. I need to create some content for one of the brands I'm working with, and other than that I think I'm gonna end the video here. Tomorrow I'm also back at work. Real life picks up again, fortunately, but hey, gotta do what we gotta do. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this kind of videos. It's very much a random week in my life, and I'll see you in my next video again. Bye.